Good afternoon, traders. Oh wait a minute, it's April Fool's Day. Hopefully the market,
April Fool's Day.
hopefully the market didn't fool anybody today. But we ended up being out yesterday. It was my birthday, and the family took me out. So we apologize for missing review. I have a feeling George will probably scroll back a little bit and maybe talk about yesterday. But I'll hand it over to you, George.
Yeah, I'll try to make it somewhat brief since we're going to try to cover 2 days in just kind of one topic here. So uh, we'll go. Yeah, we'll start at the ES here. So I guess to start off with, just take reference to what I've got posted here today. So this is part of April 1st, uh, early in the morning. So this whole series of targets was actually posted yesterday. And this is what we were really working off of. So you can kind of see the two, they just are mirror images of one another. I just wanted folks to understand that we'd ended the day yesterday. So here's around, 4:30 or so in the afternoon, that we're not done. Basically, they're still trekking up, and they did so through Globex. So without getting into too much information from yesterday, I'm just going to try to make it somewhat brief. But really, it was an absolutely phenomenal day in the trading room because of this right down here. So find our 920 bar. Here's our 920 start from yesterday. We immediately went right into a whole series of targets, bam, bam, bam. And then it came down after it broke our little minor has to hold here. Then the conversation flipped to say, look, we're going to go down first a little bit, but what needs to happen, or what if they're going to continue up, that's really kind of the way that you look at these things. It's always a giant if then. So if they're going to continue up, we had a has to hold below us, which we knew was going to have some wiggle room. So the conversation went basically, if they hit these series of targets, and this is the fun part about trading, you don't know if they're going to stop at target one, target two, or target three. But if you pull back a little bit and just think about it in the grand scheme of things, any one of those is fine. Like, we're only talking about, a 12 or so point span on the ES when you're talking about something that could potentially be moving, 100 or 200 points in the other direction. So it is what it is. It's not that big a deal, but I was really happy because it did hit our rubber band, which, if you watch the videos attached to the link below, you'll understand it's a free course we put out there for free, but you'll understand that we use rubber bands quite often as a counter trend trade. So that was really the story of yesterday, was if you can catch the reverse, it's just a matter of, do they hit the rubber band and get back above the has to hold? Because it was something that, again, they had some wiggle room. They had some time to kind of play that out. And holy cow, they did. I, for one, was in. I know several other folks in the trading room talked about their entries. And even if they only took it back, a little bit, I mean, this is a ridiculous run. A lot of folks clearly are not going to hold this, but here's really what we were looking at. They said, look, if we can get above here, this decision point at 482, then what we're really aiming for, folks, which is why I drew my giant bar. You guys see this huge blue bar here. What they're aiming for are all of these targets to the upside. So starting here around 67.5. So remember those as we scroll into today. You kind of see this is the Globex session, up and up and up and up and up. And then I repeated the targets so that people understood that here we are. And right at, where did I start posting today? I started posting about 7:40 in the morning. And so I reposted the targets from yesterday and said, this is all fine and dandy. And the rubber band, again, if you look at it from yesterday's, we counter trend traded rubber band there. Same thing here. It's the rubber bands are there to kind of also not only tell us where the market's going, but they are often telling you where they're either going to stop or at least take a significant pause. And on top of that, today was awesome because they gave both a hurdle, which was right at our expected high for the morning session, and our rubber band. So within a very short number of points, there was a lot of, I call it congestion. There's a lot going on here. So for anybody watching Chartcast, because again, this happened pre-market, but if you watch the Chartcast, I basically got the bulk of my day done because I had my short from the rubber band, and I just took profit as we teach back at the previous targets. And if you look at the number here, so 66.41 back to 40, yes, I caught a very, very quick, 40-point move to the downside to start my day, even before the trade room started. So moving on quickly here. Here's our 920. So now we've opened the room, and I had kind of made the point of saying, hey, if anybody was watching Chartcast, hopefully you're done for the day and you don't really need to be here in the trade room. If not, hang tight, don't do anything rash. We'll see where it takes us. And they gave another has to hold here at 66.20, but they needed to commit above 66.23. So once again, the market was kind of playing with us a bit. They were just slightly spacing out pretty important levels, but only just a few points ahead. So this is right. It's a non-committed kind of push through, but it does kind of give you the hint that that's probably what they're going to do. And so they got us stuck in this little range. So they needed to commit either A, above the 23.5, or they needed to commit below the 66.04. And so as you can see that how it played out, it was a perfect tag basically of the 66.04. They didn't commit, came back up, and that put us into the next series up here with these targets above us. So as of now, it's all still live. It's all still possible, but they did get pretty darn close to the target, only missed it by a few points. So yeah, we'll see in the Globex. They need to maintain above, well, they need to get back above, I should say at this point. We got to get back above this 23, I think it's 23.5 is the actual number. So we need to get back above 23.5. So we're not far off of it. So we'll see what happens over Globex. If they do, then these upside targets are still possible. Hopefully that was short enough. The recap. All right, so this is the NQ. Try to make this one equally as quick since we're trying to cover 2 days here. This one also going back to yesterday, and they just lined up so nice. So nice. NQ, huge winner, massive day. I think everybody was kind of riding a high from yesterday because this was great. Pre-market move action before the room had opened, and then it opened here at 9:20. We talked about what was happening. They had a pre-market hurdle that they shot down off of, but then broke, and then hit two of the three targets nearly. I mean, that thing is within like ticks of the, I don't know, a couple points. So it nearly hit all three targets, and then, which is all fine and dandy. But then this was the big one right here. That has to hold to the downside that we called out. So as you can see, they only just barely wicked it. And it was the same conversation, same story, that if they hold this has to hold, that's great. But they got to get above this decision point to get into this big block that we talked about up here. And they did. Just blew through the decision point. And again, we have all this stuff mapped out hours and hours ahead of time. And so same story for the Globex. It was in this giant block. We'll scroll through the Globex session, and I repeated the same targets here from the day prior so that people understood same thing. Where are we in context of the storyline? As you can see, same thing. And then the market on the NQ provided the same information they provided on the ES, just a little bit different. The ES rubber band was a bit higher, whereas the hurdle was just slightly lower, and they flip-flopped it here. Doesn't really matter to me, it's fine. So they took it to the hurdle, and I had the same short sitting. Actually, I was tiered in between rubber band and hurdle for my NQ trade. It picked up everything that I had and just ripped it right back down to second target. And there we are. Market opens. So we open the room here 9:20. Same conversation. They tried to push through the decision point pretty early on here at 9:40. Not really committed to it. So same story. They got us stuck between the two decision points to get into the next block. NQ a little different, only because it did break the decision point and it did reach at least our first target that we had called out, at 10 or so in the morning. So this one we'll see, but it is currently above the decision point here. So it's still on track. Like it could continue to go back up if it wants, but the interesting thing about the NQ is it doesn't have to. So, like I said, we'll see what happens tomorrow.
And speaking
Yeah.
of tomorrow, I think we got some unemployment news around 8:30, so be on the lookout for that.
Yep. Awesome.
I
Hopefully that was short enough, and you guys got 2 days for one right there.
Yeah, I appreciate you. You stuck it right into the 10-minute mark, which is great. We got a couple concurrent viewers online, so that's awesome. I noticed a couple of people that are on the YouTube are not in Discord, so I added a link today to our description below. Our Discord server is free, so if you're not already over there, please click the link, and it'll take you to where you can get signed up and get over there. And as well, as always, we have our 7-day trial of the room and our free trade room course as well. So all those links are down below. If you haven't already clicked them, come check us out, and we look forward to seeing you. Anything else, George?
All right. Thanks, Bob.
Okay, man.
No, that was it.
I appreciate it. See everybody tomorrow.